Well, Mike, we've got a completely different setting here. We're standing in the middle of a young plantation. How old is this plantation?
It's a little over 5 years old, and you
Okay.
can see we're very pleased. It's just doing wonderful.
Well, you've done well. I'm not sure it would down where I'm living right now. You've got more rain up here than we have, it seems.
Well, lately it's been good.
Yeah. Standing in the middle of a young plantation, just like standing in the middle of a bunch of young scouts, what sort of future do you see for the operations on your tree farm here and on the scout camp?
Well, obviously we hope it's wonderful because that's the right thing to think, I suppose, but you made a great analogy about young trees and young scouts. We want our trees to grow up big and strong just like we do our kids, and so I think the future for us is wonderful. A caring, committed group of people making sure that we do the right thing for our forest and our ecology, and this is just a part of our plan here to make sure that we have a sustainable forest and that it does well, and that our kids will have a place to come and camp and talk and share and have a great time while doing it.
Well, I noticed also we've seen some bottomland areas, so you have quite a variety out here, and Shane was sharing with me earlier that part of the bottomland has some pines in it, and you're going to be, over the process of the next several years, converting that back into a native hardwood stand.
We have already begun in a few areas. I had some tough rows, lost some hardwoods that we planted, but we're back at planting them again. Some of our scouts have helped plant those as well. And we want to turn several areas of our camp where the soil conditions are right. We want to turn those into beautiful hardwood forests that people can enjoy and appreciate.
Well, from the standpoint of education, which is really a lot of what you're about, that is good to have that kind of variety in one place.
And you bring up a great point about education, because we do have merit badge programs that deal with forestry and the out of doors, but also a big part of it is that our kids come out here and see hands-on how forest management works and appreciate beauty and nature. We also do it for adult leaders as well, and we have forestry students from Stephen F. Austin University who come out here as well. And they get to study and measure and learn about forestry and forestry management and stewardship. So education is a big part of what we do here. Demonstration areas to teach people and let them see how things are done and done right. And we're very pleased and proud of that as part of our mission.
Well, you're in almost a unique position to do that as a scout camp.
We are.
Your longevity here is probably going to be greater than some of our private lands.
Well, this is a great facility for us, and it's well located in our 17 county council area, and I see nothing but great things in the future for our camp and for our children, and absolutely for our forest and our forest plan.
Wonderful. What sort of, I mean, you've already gone through some of the benefits. Are there any, we've talked about the ecological benefits, getting this back in a more natural state to make it an outdoor laboratory essentially. But economically, do you see any benefits, or has the scout camp seen any benefits? As a sidebar, I know that's not your primary thing, but...
It's not, but it's an important part, because you certainly want to be a good steward, and that means that you don't waste things, and we don't want to waste that resource in our forest either. When it's time to harvest here, we want to make sure that it's done right and that there's a continuing benefit. So over the last 7 years, we have netted about $235,000, and every dollar of that has either gone back into our forestry plan or has gone back into things for the camp that impact the lives of our mission, our kids and our adults. And so it has provided an income stream that has a real lasting impact on our children.
Well, that's almost too logical to be conventional.
Well, we just think it's doing the right thing.
Well, I'm pleased to hear that. Well, along with benefits, what sort of obstacles have you all met out here? I know just briefly you touched on a few earlier, but just concentrating on that one question, have there been obstacles that you've run up against?
Oh, sure. I think that's true in anything we do, but no question about the weather. The hurricanes and some very strong weather that we have certainly had an impact on our forest and salvage operations and aesthetic concerns, no doubt about that. And we've had our share of pine beetles, and they never seem to show up in a remote part of camp. Somehow they manage to show up in one of our heavily used areas. But that is a part of our concern, is that not everybody knows what we know and about forestry and how important it is, and not everybody has access to that education and that information. And so a lot of our volunteer leaders, and we have over 3,000 volunteer leaders just in East Texas, not all of them understand the value and the reason for what we do in this forest. And so part of our challenge has been to educate them, which we are doing on our website and at camp and at activities, educate those people as to why we're doing it and making sure that it's not just a money thing. It is a taking care of our forest thing.
Yes.
And sometimes people are very romantically inclined to a forest that think that the southern pine trees are going to become sequoias. And we have to help them understand that that's probably not going to occur between the weather and the insects and some of the challenges that certainly occur in any operation. So those are our real challenges, and I think we're meeting those. I think we've educated the people that we work with. I think they understand more and more. We've certainly been transparent in our operation. And our kids are certainly learning about it, and they're learning about pine beetle. We show them what happens. We show them what it looks like when that occurs, and why we have to be good stewards of our land to protect our trees in that regard too. So hopefully it's a win for everybody.
Well, it sounds like you're handling it well through education, because those kinds of challenges from nature are going to crop up.
Absolutely, and some days I think we've had more than our fair share.
Just recently with hurricanes.
Oh, we even had the damage from Hurricane Ike this far north, and we went in and we did salvage operations, and we recovered some financial benefit from that, and that money's sitting there in the bank ready to be spent on more forest operations and more facilities for our children.
Well, it looks like you've got a very comprehensive plan here.
We do.
And you're carrying it out, even able to react to the things that nature throws at you.
We try.
Well, Mike, it's been a pleasure being out here today
Thank you.
Seeing the Camp Pirtle. I've never been on it, but I'm enjoying it.
Well, we're glad you're here, and we appreciate what you guys do in making sure that there is a sustainable forest out there for all of us to enjoy.
Well, and you're working with some good guys, so
we are.
thank you very much for having us.
Thank you.